This is Genuine Connections, featuring collaborative conversations about community, content, creativity, commerce, and the convergence of media and marketing.
So Andy Wilson is our great partner from McClatchy. Welcome. Thank you for joining. You got in today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Anyone else get in today? Are you still jet lagged? Yeah. So we're day 2 at CES, and some themes have already emerged, some things that we've been talking about for months, for, in certain cases, years. You're someone who has worked in this space for, I won't...
Yeah, don't say the total number of years.
We'll count them in decades, not years. How about that?
Yeah.
But as someone who has been in the publishing space for, really seen the evolution of it from purely print to digital to now the next generation of technology-led content and experiences, where do you define and where do you see us at this moment in time?
I mean, it's a challenging environment, but we've gone through these many times, and staying customer focused and making sure you're getting and garnering that engagement and being true to the customer is how we'll find our way to the next stage.
Now, video is not something that early on any publisher thought about. It was not something that they could think about unless you were a TV network or worked in film. But the publishing industry, in terms of magazines and newspapers, which is what McClatchy has been built on and grown in through mergers and acquisitions, as well as just through good old-fashioned hard work and investigative journalism and reporting. At what point did video become a priority or something that you saw as a monetizable opportunity?
It's been a few years we've been in video, but in the horizontal video space, the engagement is not as strong. We're not building those 16 to 18-minute sessions that you showed there in the video. What we're doing now is getting our editors to be front-facing and really building that engagement with the community and producing a lot more content than what we were in the horizontal realm.
You're someone who strikes me as curious and passionate about learning, and as I've gotten to know you over the last couple of years, you're a sponge for a lot of information. How do larger legacy organizations, some of us work at some of these types of big, slower moving institutions, how are you embracing, how do you find change and champions within those types of structures?
At McClatchy, it's been great because it starts at the top, and we have a CEO who embraces change and is really about going out there, trying new things, not doing the same things we've been doing for the past decade. We have to be embracing AI, looking at what's next, and engaging the consumer as the number one thing that we do. And so we have the freedom to fail and to try new things and to really get out there. And part of what we're doing in vertical video, we've been doing this for about a year. We just signed on with you, and we're looking forward to really building that vertical video experience as a front-facing and really the primary focus of our sites.
Across some of or most of the properties with whom you are working, where does the creator or the affiliate or the influencer-led, whether it's content generation or commerce driving experience, where does that fall in sort of your purview or your list of priorities that we need to kind of move to the top?
We strongly believe that we're not going to be the ones creating all the content that's going into the vertical video engine for our shorts experience that's on our owned and operated sites or in our apps. We believe that we will partner with creators, influencers to help us build that engagement. So we'll find ones that are tied to our brands or talking about areas where our brands play, and we'll add that into the experience, as well as community-led and having community be a big piece of that. So it will be our own editors, front-facing content.
Yeah.
It will be influencers and creators, and it will be community. And all of that together will create the experience that I think the consumers want.
You hit one of my buzzwords, right? Community, which is something that's been at the foundational core of what we're building. Right? From a technology perspective, giving users, consumers, passionate fans of music and sports an opportunity to connect. I think personally that's where social channels may have kind of missed the boat in terms of connecting each other. How do you think community can, like, what does that mean for McClatchy to actually lead with community?
If you take a look at, there are passion points within all of our brands. Let's take Us Weekly, for example, Dancing with the Stars. Everybody's wanting to talk about who got voted out, who's going to get voted out, what the dances were. And having them to be able to participate and have back and forth with our editors who are talking about what they feel and adding that in, I think that's going to be a really big step forward for us.
Does giving some element of control or surrendering some of that to the Gen Pop make you nervous at all?
I think I wouldn't say nervous, I'd say uncomfortable, right?
Okay.
It's not something that we have done recently, right? But if you go back in time, there was a time where community was a much larger portion of, I mean, way back in the day, there were message boards on almost every media site, if you can remember back then.
Yes, of course. It
And
wasn't that long ago.
there was a lot more back and forth with the community and the media brands, and that's kind of gotten lost. And I think this is a way to bring it back.
How are you thinking about, I mean, we're all here to learn about AI as well.
Right.
You guys are leading the way in a lot of cases, from generative content, which we've seen, to now bringing in some moderation and AI-led curation, which for me makes it a little bit more palatable as someone who is a parent of teenagers who isn't fully comfortable with what's happening in social.
Yes.
How are you embracing and understanding where and how to prioritize real-life applications?
Right. I think brand safety is first and foremost for us with our brands, which are even older than I am. So we really are leaning on AI to really do a lot of the heavy lifting there, and then with a human element on top to make sure we're getting it right, and then retraining to make sure that's happening. But we're utilizing AI across the company, and every single person is utilizing AI to make themselves faster, to make themselves better, to be able to take our sites forward.
So generation, operation, optimization, orchestration, a lot of big words.
Yeah.
But really is making it simpler.
Yeah, we have for the past 2 years really been focused on having AI make every employee better.
Yeah.
Right? It's not just about the tech group using AI. It's not just about a select few utilizing AI and then everybody else goes to them to learn it. It's really about every employee finding out how to make themselves better utilizing AI.
Now, one of the things that when we first started talking and planning and working together on was how you envision this becoming a monetization engine. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's part of your remit, is helping the company make more money, right?
Yes.
So how does bringing a video solution like ours, but really more as a consumer experience, how does that help?
I think having a better video engagement experience where the consumer's engaged, spending a lot of time, is interested, is what our advertising partners want. And what we're seeing in vertical video is a much more engaged consumer, not just with our content, but also with our advertisers' content that is in there. And it also allows them to be a little more creative. They're creating these vertical video assets already for the social media channels, and allows them to bring them into the open web, which has not had a good place for vertical video to date.
So that was going to be the last question that I wanted to end on. As we've been building out our relationship and the growth of the Genuine Media network is continuing to expand, how do you envision working with and across not only your partners, but other partners?
I think that's still to be seen, but I think the opportunity is substantial as we look as you build your platform and there's more ways to intermix the content, as you identify the likes, as the algorithm gets better, and we create a brand safe environment. How can we bring...
And it's interesting because you guys have the national big publications, you have very large newspapers, and you have more, I would say, as a New Yorker, second tier city publications. No offense to anyone who lives in
Miami might disagree with you.
I wouldn't say they're second class. I didn't say second class. I said population-wise. But does the strategy change at all in terms of how that network grows?
I think it does. Yeah, I think as you look at those communities, there's going to be different things that are of interest in the smaller communities than some of the larger ones. But I do think at the core of it is community, and they'll find topics of interest that they want to talk about. And I think that goes across our national brands and it goes across our local brands.
Andy, thank you for being
Yep.
here. I appreciate it.
No, I appreciate
We've made
it.
a genuine connection again, once again. And thank you guys for being here as well, for indulging us, for helping us participate and make some content. And look forward to working with more and all of you as we depart and leave happily and smarter from Las Vegas. Thank you. And Garrett.